So how you guys doing?
Good.
You ready?
Good. I'm ready to roll.
Yeah, you ready?
I'm ready.
Dave's
I'm ready.
been ready for a month now.
Hey.
Yeah, I got shut
We're
down.
back. Well, what? Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
are we-
you were back.
Tell me when we're official.
Are you gonna
I mean,
talk
we're
to the
official right
audience,
now.
or are you like rolling right now? Like,
We're just rolling, and
rolling
you know,
straight
maybe
in.
I'll give it a little intro. But I mean,
You gotta get your intro down.
I don't really have an intro.
You gotta get one.
My intro is asking you guys, how's your day, and who are you?
How's your day?
Yep.
This is not gonna fly.
No, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Who
Oh yeah,
are
I
you?
got my questions. Oh yeah, I'm ready.
All right, how about we jump to who are you?
Okay, let's jump in. Okay, well, because this is fun, because we're doing this at the house. We're doing how we got here. So say, who are you? How you get here?
How I got here in this room.
How'd you get here?
How am I related to these groups of
Yeah, how you
people
really
here?
and what do you do? Who are you? What do you do?
Mhm.
And why are you here?
Okay.
And how did you get here?
Okay.
Just
Okay.
everything. You just go.
I'm Reagan Appleby.
All right,
and,
Reagan.
A strength coach at Modern Day High School. And I'm also an honorary member of this family.
That's right.
That's
right.
I am Jillian's best friend. Then I just got brought in, and we've just been buddies ever since. And now I'm a
Yeah.
sister, and Dave's like a dad to me. So
Yeah.
we go way back.
Stepfather.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Whatever you want to call it.
Uncle Dave.
Yeah.
He's everybody's uncle. He's
Yeah.
everybody's uncle.
Uncle Dave to everybody.
You're
Okay,
up.
Dave. You're up.
Why am I here? Who am
Yeah.
I? What am I
Who
doing?
are you? Why are you here?
Well,
What are you doing?
I'm your father.
Right?
So I'm here
just
because
help me out.
because you work here, and
You work here.
I've been at San Clemente High School as a teacher and a coach for a long, long time.
Hit him
How
with
long?
31 as a coach,
Woo!
head coach. I think
31.
26, 27 as a teacher.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a long time.
Yeah. Coached a little football for 6 years and
How'd that go?
went well. We just won. It was great. Knew that much football compared to baseball, but we just won.
You win league championships?
Yeah, we did.
Like basketball?
I won a league championship as a JV football coach, as a varsity baseball coach, and as a player, I won them as a football and baseball player as well. But it wasn't varsity level. It was
Just a lot of winning.
That's all I know.
That's all this guy does.
No, that's not true. It's just a long time.
What was your worst season?
6-19, 1998.
It's pretty bad.
Almost got fired.
Really?
Well, I could have. Got thrown out of a game, and I was only like 29, 30 at the time, and I was all over the kids. And my assistant coach, who was a former athletic director, basically said, "We're not very good, so you better have the kids' backs." And he said, "When you're a teacher, once you're tenured, you're good to go. As a coach, they can fire you for anything, so you better have their backs." And so I survived that year, and then the next year we went 19-11. So it all worked out.
That's pretty good. How did you make such a big jump?
We were just young. We were young that year in 98, and then 98. And then it's before you guys were born, I think, right?
Yeah. 2002.
Yes. And then in 99, we kind of brought the same team back, and it's just part of the process. The seniors that year were they were just okay. Depending on who watches this, we better just.
Was it Jeff?
No, Jeff
What was Jeff's year?
was 05, I think.
Okay.
He was 05. He was.
So I was like around. Like I was a little guy.
You were
I was
around. Jeff was.
That's crazy.
Jeff was a hothead. He
You
was
got any stories to follow up with that?
Got a great story.
Go ahead.
Why am I?
No, go.
So we were
I'd
playing.
like to hear.
We were playing at Lakewood High School in Lakewood back in the time. That's the guy who's talking about today. He's been there like 40 years, and they were really, really good. And most of the time we played them, we beat them. I don't know how, but we were playing at Lakewood, and they were just like, it was incredible. Like, can we just get on the bus and go home because we're gonna get beat bad?
Yeah.
And they scored like 3 in the first, and then Jeff was at the plate, and he struck out to end an inning. I think it was the first or second inning, and he threw his bat from home plate all the way to the backstop. And I have a rule that if you throw your bat, you're out of the game.
Yeah.
And I tried to ignore it because he was our best hitter. And so, same coach, that former athletic director, walked up and he goes, "Hey, don't you have a rule on your team that if you throw your bat, you're out of the game?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, Jeff Parge he just about took my head off." And I said, "Well, I didn't see it, but I actually did." But I was forced to pull Jeff from the game, and I thought it was over, and we came back and won. And I think
All
because
because you kept him.
no, I think it was because like you bench your best player,
Yeah.
and I think maybe it was just luck, but I think part of it was okay. Coach is going to pull the trigger. Doesn't matter who you are. But I would have ignored it had I not had an older mentor.
You still have that nowadays? You still have that same rule?
I do.
Have you ever
Really?
recently taken a kid out for doing that?
Nope. I don't remember the last time our kid actually threw a bat.
That's
But
pretty
bat flips are good.
Bat flips are not good, but that's
Bat flips are not good.
bat flips.
But if
Bat
you
flips are acceptable in this day.
they're acceptable. You don't get
Yeah.
benched.
I don't like
for
them,
bat
but
flipping.
yeah, I don't like them.
But that's two separate things.
Huh?
Throwing it. Okay.
2015, I lowered my standards. I have to admit,
Okay.
and that was
Is that when you let the hair go and you let the?
that was when we were.
That was later on. That was like.
Yeah, that was we had a guy, Lucas Herbert, who was drafted in the second round. You guys all know.
Yeah.
And he was probably the best competitor I ever had.
Uh-huh.
But if he was 0 for 2 or 0 for 3, he wouldn't run a ball out. That was the worst he did. He just wouldn't run a ball out. And we have a rule, hard 90, run through the bag. And he wouldn't run the ball out, but I kind of like, I gotta let this go because I don't have anybody. But then what happened was because I wasn't holding Lucas to those standards,
Yeah.
I kind of felt like I didn't have to hold anybody to those standards.
Yeah.
So he didn't get favoritism. The entire team got favoritism because I'm like,
Because he was.
yeah, it took a few
The guy
years
that
to
was
get that
good.
back.
Yeah.
It really didn't go.
Wow.
It took like 3-4 years before it's like now they run balls out hard again. So
That's kind of comforting now.
what do you mean?
Like for coaching, like for me coaching basketball, like if a standard that I wanted to implement is like brought down, I mean, you were like 20 years into it and it happened and then you had to bring it back. But yeah, well, because I like last year, like I felt like I was losing them at certain points. I'm like, this is on me. But sometimes kids are just gonna be kids.
Well, that's a philosophical
like-
question.
What?
Yeah.
What do? You have a talented team
Mm-hmm.
that could go a long way, which they did,
Yeah.
but then you start implementing or trying to hold them true to your standards,
Uh-huh.
you run the risk of losing them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You run the risk of going, and so to me it was like, he's just not running a ball out. He's not throwing a bat.
Yeah.
That's a different story, but it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I got to keep this guy on my side because he was that team
You would
leader.
lose, yeah.
The
And then-
risk versus reward there.
Yeah.
And I feel like year to year that might adjust a little bit,
Mhm.
but keeping the same principle
Yeah.
of what you expect.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely. I think we were talking about that earlier. It's a different era where coaching when I started was black and white. It was like, this is the way it is. And now there's a lot of gray areas.
Yeah.
Like you have to you want your kids, probably like in the weight room, you want your kids to like you
Mm-hmm.
because if they like you, they're going to work hard for you. They're going to play
Yeah.
hard for you. And that's a rough one because you can't let them get away with everything.
Yeah.
Where's the balance? It depends on the team.
Mm-hmm.
You probably have that like with your different teams that you work with, like all different personalities and
Yeah.
how like you got to switch gears. I would imagine like
Yeah.
I've got the basketball team and now I've got the water polo team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's completely different. Especially like male to female, right? Like it's just plain and simple. Like girls are different than boys and how they hear things. Like if I'm very emotional, girls are going to hear my emotion.
Yeah.
But guys are just going to hear what I'm saying. It's just how it is. Like guys are just going to hear that coach is saying something to me and going to hear the direction.
Yeah.
But girls are going to hear if I'm emotional. Girls are going to hear, oh, she's mad at me. She's disappointed in me. Like, oh, or she's happy. She's in a good mood. Like, I get that all the time. Like, coach, you're in a good mood today. And it's like, I'm just telling you to do something. But it's like they hear the emotion behind it. But then you're right with like team to team. It's like swim comes in. I'm going to talk to swim a lot differently than I'm going to address a football player.
Right.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to address my softball players. I'm going to address, my lacrosse players. It's all different, and that's the beauty of strength and conditioning and why I love what I do at the high school level, because I have 9 different teams that I work with.
Mm-hmm.
And every single team is something different. So every hour, I'm kind of getting a little different vibe, a little different culture aspect, a little bit different in terms of talent, speed, where they're at in their, process of strength and conditioning. So my job's interesting, keeps me on my toes because of that.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, you have your team that you've developed for years and years and years.
Yeah.
But still, I feel like you're adjusting every year too of like, okay, what's this team going to bring to the table? Okay, I got to switch this standard a little bit, this standard a little bit. So, mine's almost like I have to have different, it's all pretty much the same standard, but it's adjusted team to team because of just like how they are and what I actually can expect out of them.
Mm-hmm.
I expect a lot more out of a national championship football team who's winning every single game, dominating, than maybe a swim team that is there because they love to do their sport and they're not going to play in college and it's a different vibe. So, but.
Is every sport at modern day winning? Or are there sports that are just kind of, I know this, but are there sports that are just kind of okay?
There's sports that are just okay, for sure.
Like swim?
Yeah.
Which is alright.
But very, very talented individuals on each team. Like, there's not a team that comes in the weight room that's not, like, has at least a handful of kids that are going somewhere. Like, going somewhere big. Like, going to go compete.
Yeah.
But I would say all of our teams do well. Like, they're in the upper... Like, they're not last, usually. But it depends on the year.
Mr. Baseball.
Depends on the year. Depends on the year.
Finals in Division 2.
Yeah, it depends on the year and what happens. But
Sorry.
no, but it's true. Like, they're not always the best. Like, you bring up baseball, like, they're in Division 2, and it varies because honestly, if you want to talk about it, like, who's coming in? Depends on who's coming in. Not a lot of transfers that year. Not a lot of people coming in from 8th grade that are holdbacks. I don't know how successful we're going to be, to be honest. In a sport like baseball, in a sport like football, you know what I mean? Like, I look at our football freshman class this year. We're going to be good for a while because like we're looking at them and we're like, oh, these kids are like big. These kids are like ready to perform. Like they're not the little freshmen that San Clemente is going to get in 9th grade or a San Juan or whatever. Like, it's just different.
So, can I bring up a question?
Yes.
Because that's always something that I run around in my head, because you talk about public versus private, or you talk about recruiting versus not. And, sometimes like modern day has a reputation for football where it's like the best of the best of the best. I mean, in a sense, they don't even have to recruit. They just get the best. Yeah. But that has always been trying to wrap my head around that, because you're not, you're coaching, but you're not coaching. Like, in public schools, you get what you get. We don't get transfers. We just, we just get who we get, and you make the best of it, which to me, that's exciting. That's what I enjoy, is like, okay, we're not very good, but how do we make this team to where they can compete? So I think there's, I don't know, is that added pressure on the coach, when they have that amount of talent? Like, okay, you guys should win. You're supposed to win.
Yeah. Definitely added pressure, and I feel like it's like NBA. Like, Ty Lue getting Bradley Beal and John Collins this offseason, you add them with Harden and Kawhi. When you get these teams of, like, super teams and, like, kind of like modern day, like, if you have 8 like nationally ranked 8th graders that come in as freshmen, and they were all the guys on their teams because you're recruiting from like these different places. Now you have to like make that team play well together. Yeah. That's tough, because like for you, coaching is making all right players into a good team. But for modern day, it's taking elite players that are all used to being the guy and getting them to mesh well to be a good team.
That doesn't sound
instead of just elite individuals.
It's tough.
Yeah. It's probably tough.
all you know, us strength staff, we talk about all the time. We're so glad we're not a head coach.
Yeah.
Because it's like looking at that, because he's absolutely right.
Mhm.
Last year, we were national champions, but everyone played as an individual.
Mhm.
Every single person on that team did not play for Modern Day. They played for themselves.
Yeah.
And so this year, this off season, and then into this year, it's been literally all about culture
Mhm.
and building a team. And we have definitely grown so much in that. You can see that and how they interact with each other, how they interact in the weight room. It has gotten so much better, and they're starting to realize the concept of that.
Yeah.
But they're all great. They're all
Yeah.
great at what they do, but it's about like making it an experience that they want to buy into.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are just there because Modern Day's the best, and if I have to be in high school, I'm gonna be at Modern Day.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be anywhere else. But then it's also like, how do we make it an experience that truly is going to affect them in a way where they leave this place and they are more disciplined, or they do have the respect and the structure that they need to go be successful.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting. It's a completely different dynamic,
It's
but
very
it's
different.
it's hard looking at some of our coaches and being like, dang, you have a tough job.
Yeah.
Because all your kids think they're the best,
Yeah.
and someday they're going to get humbled. It may not be here
Mhm.
in, CIF athletics, but it's going to be somewhere.
Yeah.
They're going to get humbled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting.
What do you got,
Good
Jake?
stuff, guys.
Yeah.
I got a couple questions up my sleeve. Let me pull them out. Well, one thing so on the strength and conditioning side, I have a couple questions for both of you, like same question for both of you.
Yeah.
One is, one thing within your field that you wish you knew more about or you were better at. That might be a tough one for you because you've been going for so long. But what is something, and it could just be baseball, not coaching, but baseball, where it's like, oh, maybe I'm missing something there that would help me be a better coach. Or for you, like, area in S&C or just coaching that you feel like you wish you knew more about or you're like curious about.
I think here's my thing. There's always some things you can get better at, and I think as a coach, whether it be strength coach and a specific sport, once you stop learning where you think you have all the answers, that's when it's time for you to step down. So, in answer to that question, it's like, okay, I'll just use catching as an example. And I was watching a game last night, and it's just like you guys probably don't, you probably know, but the catchers now are on one knee.
Yeah.
And they start from the ground, and then
And
they
like
frame
stick it
it
up.
all these different.
Yeah.
Whereas when I started coaching and when I was playing, the framing was more like just right there.
Yeah.
So you'd see a guy that would frame a pitch that was going from here to here, and you'd sit there and go, "That's so little league." The umpires aren't going to take the bait on that. Now you look at it; these umpires are missing calls right and left because their gloves are flying everywhere. So the traditional is the catcher with the both knees off the ground, traditional crouch, and now they're on one knee, and I don't know how to teach the blocking part of it, the framing part of it, and I just kind of let that stuff go. And I think the same would be for pitching. I know the basics of pitching, but I'm not.
Do you know what the advantage is for starting on the ground and then like working up? Do you know or no? Do you know why it's easy to become?
I think that personally, and I don't know, but personally, I think it's because you want to pitch down in the zone.
Yeah.
You don't want to pitch up in the zone. So personally, I think it allows the catchers to have their target down, and then they pull it up.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't
make slow pitches look higher.
Yeah,
Because you're pitching low to high.
Yeah, and I was at the point with the one knee, to where it's like that is so stupid.
Yeah.
Like who teaches that?
Yeah.
You remember J-Mo Hussey,
Yeah.
right? I mean, he was at the beginning stages of that, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like what do you who taught you that?
Yeah.
And now everybody's doing it. So some of it's good, some of it's bad, but I wish I did more of that.
Nice valid.
I think also the strength stuff, but I'm so old school. It's kind of like okay, I'll just leave that to the experts.
You kind of leave it.
Yeah.
Let it do a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because some sport coaches are like, even if they don't know what they're talking about, they want to meddle in there. Which is
That's pain. It's
yeah.
painful.
Yeah, I don't do that.
And
I mean, honestly, like, I don't mean to, like, try to toot my own horn, but the kid will ask a question. If I don't have the answer, I'm not going to tell them. I'm not going to try
Yeah.
to fake it. And a lot of coaches, I think you're right. They try to fake it.
yeah.
Hey, do this, do that, do it this way, do it that way. It's like, like I'll go out to the pitcher's mound, and it's like I can teach up to about 12 years old. But the one thing I do think I'm good at is the mental part.
Mm-hmm.
You know, is like, okay, I can see when a kid's mentally struggling, so I can do that.
Yeah.
But mechanically, it's like, yeah, I'm out.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Reagan, if a coach came up to you and said, I need more of this, or I need more of this, or
Yeah.
why are they squatting so heavy?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
why does what we're doing in the weight room not look more like the sport?
Uh-huh.
If you could explain to a sport coach who has no idea what we're doing or why we're doing it, explain the basics of like strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
And why we're doing what we're doing in like 5 minutes. What's your pitch?
That's a great question. And I've actually had that happen multiple times. Like, it happens all the time.
Okay, so it's happened at
Yeah, yeah.
one day.
For sure. It's happened when I was at Laverne. Like,
Yeah.
just genuine question. I think sometimes it could come off differently if they have prior knowledge. And, like,
Yeah.
some of these coaches played in the college level and
Mhm.
very high pro levels. Like, a lot
Yeah.
of the coaches that I'm dealing with at modern day. So they've been through the strength and conditioning world in some
Yeah.
aspect.
Even sometimes that doesn't even help them.
Yeah, no, it almost makes it worse.
It sometimes helps
honestly.
because you can have a coach that played in college and then their college strength coach was on some
Yeah.
goofy stuff and then they're like, this is what we did in college. So
Or
it's like,
they're,
ooh.
you know, they played 20 years ago and things
Yeah.
are just different now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would first ask a lot of questions. Like, I would ask them, like, okay, well, what are you trying to get out of our training?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I always start off the year with the meeting with my coaches and, like, what do you want to see? Like,
Yeah.
what do you want to see improve? Like, what's your biggest thing? And so usually the first thing I start off with is, like, I'm doing whatever exercise that it is, I'm doing this first for injury prevention. Like, my big thing is, like, I want my athletes to be bulletproof. Whether that's hamstrings, ankles, hips, shoulders, whatever it is, like, I want my athletes to be able to land, jump, shift, shuffle, whatever it is, be knocked down on the ground and be able to get back up and be bulletproof. And so in order to do that, I need to put them through multiple planes of motion. I need to load them in a particular way, sometimes heavy, sometimes light, sometimes we move the weight fast, sometimes we move it slow. You know, use different implements. And so I kind of talk about the purpose of, like, the why. Like, why do I do this?
Yeah.
And it's bigger than just seeing your athlete squat 225.
Uh-huh.
You know, I don't really care about the numbers. Like, PRs are cool, but the main reason is, like, I want your athlete to be able to go perform at their best ability. So I'm going to do everything that I can to do that. And it's going to change from sport to sport.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're like, well, that's stupid, then I'll be like, okay, then I'm going to adjust it. How about this? How about using a kettlebell instead of a barbell on their back for a reverse lunge? How about, you know, and you don't like back squatting? Okay, let's front squat. You don't like front squatting? Okay, let's goblet squat.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want any weight? Okay, well, we'll figure it out. Like, I do adapt for my coaches. I think it's never gotten to the point where it's the extreme. Like, we've always found a middle ground. But I do think it's important to hear them out because it's their team.
Yeah.
But I'm
Makes sense.
always going to give them the why, and the why is always bigger than just, like, I'm trying to get your athlete to squat this much or run. Like, obviously I want them to run fast and lift a decent amount of weight, but the big thing for me is, like, I'm trying to prepare your athlete for any given situation, especially soccer's and lacrosse and field athletes, like court, girls basketball. Like, I've had a lot of knee injuries. They had a lot of knee injuries last year. I got them in January, and I'm like, I'm making your team bulletproof. And she's like, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my main thing. And so I try to focus on that as much as I can. And then when questions come, adjust and flow with it.
Yeah.
You gotta be flexible in high school, especially high school strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
You gotta not take things personal
Yeah.
and adapt and move as needed. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so like with injury prevention, it's for sure a factor, but there's also the inverse
Mhm.
of it is, like, as athletes have higher outputs,
Yeah.
they can hurt themselves. It's less contact injuries and more like non-contact, torn Achilles, torn ACL, torn like, and so that stuff, or tendonitis. If like with me, like training for vert, it was only a matter of time when you're pushing your body to higher and higher outputs before you have something flare up.
Yeah.
So if the coach is like, is that something you've talked about with coaches? Or like, has a coach ever come to you and they're like, hey, I had this many go down with a knee injury. It's like, what happened? Like, what'd you do?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had to explain like, okay, well, like, we can prepare them to do like take a beating, like contact injuries, falling down, all that, and have more armor, like more muscle on them, and also be able to move in deeper positions better and have strength through length and range. But as they have higher outputs, if I'm jumping higher and I land wrong, it's going to be way harder on the body than if I jump 20 inches and I land wrong on my ankle. Mm-hmm. Have you had to explain that or no?
In a different, not knee.
Yeah.
I mean,
knee, ankle,
like
hip. It can
girls soccer, for example.
Yeah.
So I'm about to start Mater Dei, my second year at Mater Dei. When I first entered last year, they had over about 12 to 15 knee injuries the year before.
Yeah.
12 to 15.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And whether that has to do with them or their club and just the fact that they're doing too much, that's a whole nother topic.
It's just,
but
you can't, there's so many factors to injury. You can't,
So I was like, I just have to get these girls stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Come back after a full year, everything's done in May, no injuries. And so I think, one, proving what you do through a whole year of training tells a lot. But in terms of the question you're asking, like I've had that with a little bit with like girls water polo. Mm-hmm. We train really hard. Those girls are beasts. Like they are my most hardworking team for sure. And they get beat up in the pool. Like it's a crazy sport. Like shoulders, knees, hips. Oh my gosh. Like it's horrible to sometimes see them stretch and do mobility because it's just like crazy what they have to go through in the pool. Uh-huh. But for me, the big thing for us was getting them really, really strong this spring. And so we were doing a lot of deadlifting, we were doing a lot of squatting, and a lot of those girls hadn't been through that heavy of squatting and dead. Not that it was crazy, but just no one had ever done that. It was always high reps. And so we were in a cycle of doing low reps, high weight, and it's like, what are we doing here? And they're kind of getting skeptical about it. But more, coaches coming to me, they're like, their backs hurt.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, okay, I sit down the girls of who he's talking. I'm like, what? Tell me about why your back's hurting. What's going on? And it's like, as they explain it, it's like,
just sore.
My back is sore.
Yeah.
My back is sore because I'm deadlifting and I'm squatting. But coach, I feel great. Like I feel stronger than what I ever have been. Mm-hmm. So it's also just a piece of education.
Yeah.
And teaching, like especially in high school, like. They just haven't been through it before. Yeah. So being able to sit down with the coach too and being like, Coach, like, I think we're doing the right things. If we need to take it off a little bit, we will. But like, here's the numbers to prove it. Here's how they're feeling. Here's how they're doing now. Like, I think we're doing the right things. It's just more of educating and making sure that these girls are doing what they're supposed to be doing when lifting. But I don't know. I think education is a big piece of it. Yeah. I don't know how much you can educate a coach that's been doing it for 30 years. So that's where I try to listen and adjust. But
that's where it's tough.
Education for sure. Especially with the kids. Because if the kids are educated and you're teaching them as you do it, like, they're going to buy into it. And they're not going to be like, oh, I know why my back is sore. Yeah. Not going to coach being like, my back hurts. I'm broken. It's like, no, you're not. Don't say that. Don't say that to coach. But yeah, education for sure. Yeah.
Like the soreness being like hurting or like saying that you're hurting but it's sore is just such a big one. It's like you just have to learn that it's okay to be sore. Yeah. Or like is it a joint or a muscle or is it sharp pain or is it just kind of sore and it's like, well, it's just sore. It's like, okay, then you're fine.
Let's put you through some mobility. Let's roll you out. Let's make sure you're feeling good. Like, let me help you with that. But let's not categorize it as I'm hurt.
We don't need to panic.
Yes. Yes.
Everything's okay. It's going according to plan.
Have you ever had an athlete that's like, Coach, I'm too sore. I can't.
All the time.
The arm. The
every
arm.
day.
Oh my gosh.
Every day.
Kids with arm pain, with shoulder pain.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah.
We don't need to talk about that.
Well, we can, but
We
it'd be
can.
a longer conversation.
But it's tough, right? I mean, what early in your career, let's say, you know, where kids maybe weren't as soft as they are now. Sorry, but like,
Yeah.
Well,
like
I mean,
would they
it's
just
kinda
play?
here's the thing, and I will use this as an example, and this is going on a whole other topic, but it kind of touches what you're talking about. We used to play over 50 games in the summer with our varsity alone.
Mhm.
Travel ball wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
Only the best of the best played travel ball. We never had an arm injury. Nobody ever came up and said, "I'm too sore. I can't throw.
Yeah.
I can't." Never. I mean, don't remember one. Fast forward to today. I mean, you've got kids playing travel ball, going to their strength coach, going to their private instructor for pitching. They're going all these different places, and then you show up to a game and you're asking them to throw one inning. I'm a little sore. I gotta take another day off. And that's so. Why is that? Is that overuse? Is that they become soft?
Mhm.
So now they're too busy babying their arms. Is that I don't know. I think everybody's different with that. But we never had an arm injury, ever.
When you guys would play that many games in the summer, how many of those games would you play like doubleheaders?
A lot. We
Really?
were part of it. Yeah, I mean we'd play.
Yeah, we actually did.
I mean, you go to a tournament, you play 6 games in 4 days, and then you turn around and you do it again the next weekend. You turn around, you do it again the next weekend. But we monitored the number of pitches they would throw.
Uh-huh.
We would give them days rest. Nobody ever questioned it. The kids didn't even know how many pitches they threw.
Mhm.
And I can give you an example. Andre Palante, who's with the Cardinals now, we had to reel him in. Like, no, you're done.
Mhm.
He's at 100 and now there's rules. It's 110 is the max, but he's at 118 pitches, and we're beating Tribuco 8-2, and he's like going into the 6th inning, and he's like, "I'm ready to go again." I'm like, "No, you're not."
Yeah.
He goes, "Well, my travel ball coach." I'm like, "I'm not your travel ball coach."
Yeah.
So we pulled him from the game. We lost 9-8, missed the playoffs, but I protected an arm. But he was. I mean, gosh, I'm going on, but I believe that I'm sure you guys believe the same way. Every arm is different. Every leg is different. You can't put them all into one category and
Yeah.
go, well, 100 pitches is a limit. Andre Palante can throw 115 pitches and come back on 3 days rest and throw 125 pitches and do it again and again and again.
Yeah.
Where somebody else can throw 20 pitches and they're out for 3 days because their body just doesn't respond as well as someone else's does.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's
That
more of
makes
an
sense.
individual thing.
Makes sense. Do you feel like we were saying about injuries being so multifactorial earlier that it's impossible to pinpoint where it's coming from? But if you could say like at least a top 3 with the shoulder, like specifically shoulder injuries in baseball players, what do you think the top 3 would be? Because I think I have mine. I'm curious if they match up.
UCLs.
No, not the body part, but the reason why so many
Overuse.
shoulder injuries. Overuse.
Overuse, and I think
You were playing so many games earlier.
yeah, but overuse. But now, and this is just a theory. Now somebody goes to a travel ball event where they have radar guns, and
Right.
college coaches are going to recruit them, so they think, and so they throw 2 innings as hard as they can.
Yeah.
Everything is 100%.
Yeah,
They don't know how to throw a fastball at 95%.
that makes sense.
They don't know how to do that. So everything is all about how hard am I throwing.
Mhm.
So I saw a thing on Instagram, a 16-year-old throwing 101 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And they asked a question, too hard, too soon. Like, question mark. Is
Yeah.
that kid setting himself up for an injury?
Yeah.
So,
That goes back to the outputs. Like higher outputs is higher soft tissue or non-contact
Mhm.
risk of injury. Like if we're throwing 100 at 16, or if we're just if we're just pushing and this is the interesting part from like the strength and conditioning side. We figured out how to get guys to throw harder, way harder, but we haven't figured out how to keep them
healthy.
healthy. It's short term. It's like
Mhm.
little burst of 105, and then they have a 5-year career, and then they blow out their arm and it's over. Or they don't even make it to college or major leagues because We
Yeah.
blow it out way early. So it's like, what are we? And that's where like the strength side, that field is in all fields, but that field's always changing and like always evolving. We're always learning. And the body's so complex that it's like we figured out how to make them throw harder and the output's way higher, but we haven't figured out how to make it not so injury proof or injury like risk. So it's like, I don't know. It's like we did too much too soon to the point where we don't have the answers of how to keep them healthy.
Yeah, I feel like that's a much deeper question.
Oh, it's
'Cause
tough.
I feel like it's just like, then we're getting down to like morals. Like, what is morally correct?
Yeah.
To have that kid at 16 be throwing his arm out?
Yeah.
Like, where is the standpoint? This is what I think about as coaches. Where do we get to play a part in, like, protecting a kid?
Yeah.
You know, or, like, doing the right, pulling a kid back. Like, I know you don't think this is correct, but I'm gonna pull you back.
Yeah.
Even if there is a college coach in the stand, like, let me talk you off a ledge and talk to you more about like the why of I'm doing this. But I feel like it's the world. Like the world these days just wants
now.
And to be the best. And it's the selfish part of it. And I'm competing. Like a lot of kids at modern day, all they think about all the time is competing, competition. It's almost like sometimes I have to remove that piece. We talked about that a little bit.
Oversaturation of competition.
And then when I ask them to compete, it's like, I don't even want to compete anymore.
Yeah.
Like, then it takes the fun out of it. Like, all they know is pressure and competition.
Definitely.
So the moment that I can kind of not remove that piece, but ask for it in a different way while also protecting them and building them up, I'm going to go for it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just feel like that's such a tough thing to talk about because it's like, it gets down to the moral rights of us as coaches and what we believe and our values, you know?
Yeah. On the baseball side, like, they figured out a little bit. We figured out a little bit with, like, all right, let's not teach a 12-year-old how to throw, like, a nasty curveball yet because if we're throwing, like, every fourth pitch is a curveball from 12 to 16, that's going to be a really big injury factor on the elbow by the time they're in high school. So we figured out the off speed, but then it was like, okay, let's just throw fastballs. Let's throw fastball. Now let's throw fastballs as hard as we possibly can. So now it's like, okay, we've created another problem because we're throwing so hard.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
See, and that part's changed too because it used to be when a kid did say, "Hey, my arm is a little bit sore," you know, it was a little bit. You felt a little bit more comfortable. Like, okay, are you hurt or are you injured?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, it's a little bit sore because once you go to the doctor, they're going to sit you out for 2 weeks. Minimum.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. You felt a little bit more comfortable being able to say that, but now there's like so much liability out there, and you know with the parents and everything, it's like my arm's sore, okay, and they don't throw or they don't play.
There's liability. There's you don't know what they're doing outside of your program.
Yep.
Right.
You don't know how many they could have played 4 games on the weekend through 150 pitches. You don't know because kids don't communicate.
No, they're afraid to tell their head coach. So yes, and then you look at the other end, like how many kids are taking advantage of this?
Oh yeah.
I just kind of don't want to play today, coach. My arm's sore.
Yeah.
So it's such a balance, and I do think a lot of it is genetics. Like Colby Aller, he was throwing 87, 88 his junior year, and one day he bumped to 93, 94. And we're out in Palm Desert, and all of a sudden there's 6 scouts talking to me like, where'd this guy come from?
Yeah.
Senior year is throwing 96, 97. And it's like...
Did he really get up to 96, 97? He did?
Remember when Jillian
had... Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, Jillian had a softball thing.
Yeah.
And he played at Petco Park.
Petco? Yeah.
Yeah, for that perfect game deal. Struck out the side.
Struck out everybody.
Yeah, and he was on like 96, 96. And they were all laughing like, where'd this guy come from?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, he's just a
He's
surf
not a big guy.
No.
He's a small guy.
Yeah, he's just a surf rat.
Yeah.
Now he's throwing 93 in the big leagues.
Yeah.
And he's trying to survive.
I don't even know what he's doing at 93.
He's having a good year though.
He's having a good year.
Yeah.
I think he's like...
But it's okay, so not to you know, just to throw it out there, baseball question, because Colby always complains, he's like, oh yeah, dude, it's all about, spin rate. It's all about this. It's all about that. He goes, it's all about guys have to throw 100 miles an hour. And if you don't, then you're out. And he goes, I have to learn how to pitch. I think that learning how to pitch is going to come back down the road.
Definitely.
Because there's so many people blowing out their arms from that, 100%, that they're going to start focusing on, hey, throw 93, 94 and locate your pitches and have movement. And yeah, I hope that happens.
I feel like the pendulum always swings with that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's similar, like we've talked about with basketball. Right now, the meta is jacking threes. That's the best way to win, in the NBA at least. And it's trickled down to the AAU and club and high school. It's like shoot threes, analytics, 3 or layup. Mid-range, don't go into mid-range. Yeah. That's our lowest percentage shot. But then it's like, I don't know, Kawhi in 2019, that team won a finals on mid-range. Him and Siakam, and like you starting to see, we'll see how the Clippers do this year, but they got Beal and Kawhi. That's 2 mid-range merchants. And Zoo, who's
following this.
Following?
Yeah.
Zoo is like a traditional back to the basket big that you'd see in like the 90s with post hooks and stuff. So what if, let's throw it out there, Clippers 2026 champs. If that happens, do we see that style come back? Maybe. I feel like it's like someone wins or someone has success, and like in baseball, like we saw like a lot of success throwing gas, and it's like, oh, everyone's chasing gas. And then someone just has to have good enough success really pitching and locating and having some movement and not throwing as hard, or in basketball, going back to the mid-range or back to slower pace. And then, who knows, we might see the whole pendulum shift to that strategy. I don't know. I feel like it always shifts, though. Stuff goes back and forth. So let's see. I had a question for you, Dave. What's my question? What do we gotta bring back? What do we gotta bring back from the 80s?
From the 80s.
What do we bring back from the 80s, and what do we do now better than the 80s, if anything, in your opinion?
Well, I don't know. That's a hard question to answer. What we do better in the 80s. The 80s were different in the sense of, and this is going to be weird because this is only my opinion.
Yeah.
Athletes were a lot tougher back then.
I agree.
They were a lot tougher. There was, in high school baseball, we'd have, not to say that this is right, we'd have fights all the time. In baseball, you could take out, the second baseman on a double play. You can't do that anymore. So they're trying to save injuries in all sports, which is a good thing, right? I mean, in football, it's a good thing. But in other sports, they can't take out the catcher at the plate anymore. Those were some of the most exciting plays in baseball.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, basketball too.
I miss it.
The hacks. You slap a guy in the pinky and it's a foul. It's a flagrant foul now.
Yeah.
So it's like they're not allowed to play and compete, and that whole competitive fire, the juices flowing, the aggression, the anger, the near fights, the arguments. That stuff was fun to watch.
Yeah,
and it was part of it. Also, again, my only thing, I think. Referees and officials, now that we've got computers and AI and replays and all that takes away the fun of it too. The human element is gone from sports. It's like, guy makes a mistake, you have the argument. That used to be fun to watch that.
Yeah.
USC, when I forget what the bowl game was, where Reggie Bush, I think he just barely crossed the goal line. They looked at over and over and over again, and the officials made a bad call. And yet, that's something you can talk about for years and years and years. I don't know, but today's world, it's just everything is about protection. We don't want any injuries, but that's never going to go back.
No.
So I do think athletes were tougher.
Protection will go back.
Yeah, athletes played.
And the
injuries.
technology, I don't think, is going anywhere because we want to get everything right.
Yeah.
Even if it's not as entertaining sometimes, because it's fun to watch a guy get heated that the call was wrong.
Well, some of the best things I remember, like growing up and and playing, but growing up was when the baseball managers would just I mean, I'm not saying this is right. The baseball fights that used to last like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, spill over into the. I mean, my first college baseball game, we got to fight. Very first college baseball game, we got in a fight. It started at home plate, went all the way down to left field, and that was more than norm, right? It was like, this is
Down
great.
to left field.
Yeah, now it's like, it doesn't happen anymore.
It doesn't happen. Everybody's got a short leash,
We've never actually had a fight,
like a real fight.
a real like punches
Punches,
thrown fight on the baseball field, except between two coaches and an umpire. That was, but that's
When
it.
was that?
Oh gosh, it was like,
Was that you?
no, it was, I think it was
Wait,
Palo-
no, you wouldn't have thrown a punch.
It was
right?
Palo Verde High School. It was a tournament that I ran. They're from Las Vegas, and two brothers were the coaches, and they had a really, tight strike zone against them. So we would come back and walk. And so one of the brothers came out to argue with the umpire, and the second umpire was holding the brother back.
Mm.
And so one of the umpires wound up tripping and falling down on his back.
Mm.
No punches were thrown, so I misquoted myself there. No punches were thrown, but when the umpire went down, he's like, call the police, that's assault, that's assault. And so the police were called, and this is going to sound really bad, but the next team coming in was another team from Vegas. And so the umpire, when he went to the ground, he stood up, and I remember it vividly. I don't know what was said before, but he called the umpire called the coach a Las Vegas puke, whatever that means. So then,
Las Vegas
the
puke.
Las Vegas puke. So then
That's
the
goofy.
other team that was waiting to play the next game,
Yeah.
they were like, "Who are you calling a Las Vegas puke?" So our players were laughing.
That's
right?
funny.
They're in the dugout laughing. I'm like, guys, no. This is not a laughing matter.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I had to come out and break that up. But that's
Hmm.
that's the worst thing.
That's pretty good.
What do you guys think? Am I way off base there?
I
with
don't
what
think you're
said?
off base at all. I think that was way more tame than I thought it would be. We could. I feel like you're holding back because we can get into everything, but you're stuck with sports.
Well, I stuck with sports, and I do
But I
think.
understand.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a lot of really good things that have happened. I think like the strength and conditioning, that stuff really wasn't much of a thing when I was in high school. We worked out on our own.
Yeah.
I mean, I can show you our workout plan was like, bench press and curls and reverse curls and roll ups with, little 5-pound weights. We survived.
Mhm.
We did okay,
Yeah. We talked about this on the last one that got trashed, but
yeah.
it's interesting because the information was out there, or the information was there, but only for like the highest level of like good strength and conditioning in your time. Like if you look at Olympic level strength and conditioning from like your time, it's the same stuff we're doing. It's not even that we're doing nothing new really. Maybe a little tiny bit of new stuff, but good training's been good training, but it's just become more accessible to the masses with videos that are out there on the internet and social media and people traveling and getting around and learning from each other, to where like your time it was like it was just there at the highest levels, and then even colleges and high schools is like, I don't know, we're just doing what like you said, just bench and curl.
Yeah.
And that's and that's about it.
Yeah.
So it's like, but it's kind of cool to know that it was there. It's
Yeah.
just like, because I feel like with your age bracket, like coaches that are your age will think like, some of them are really cynical and think like, oh, this new age, new stuff, this new crap. This is not. How is this helping? This doesn't. This looks goofy, and it's like, it was there. It was always there. It was just way less accessible, and it wasn't as known on a broad scale. You didn't have high school strength and conditioning. You didn't have college. College strength and conditioning was whatever the coach could come up with.
Yeah.
So,
I do think that in the 80s, the team concept was a lot easier to develop.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's so individualized now. You look at social media, and if you're not like in my day, if somebody were to walk up and brag and go, I had 3 hits today, and they were to brag about that, the rest of the team would sit there and find a way to shut him up.
Yeah.
And he'd never say it again.
Right.
Nowadays, if you're not bragging about your 3-hit day,
Yeah.
then you're falling behind.
Mm-hmm.
And that's totally acceptable now. It's like, oh, look at me, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, I mean, that's probably the biggest change that I've seen, to where it's like, and we had about 4 years ago, we had a kid that posted on Instagram, and we lost to El Toro. He was a sophomore. He had 3 hits, but made 2 errors that cost us the game. But he posted about his 3 hits. And I was ticked. And I actually brought it up the following Monday, and the kid like unfollowed all of us on Instagram and everything. Turned out, this is Pierce Brown.
Right.
Turned out to be a great kid, and he was wonderful. But at that time, I'm like, that's where we are now?
Yeah.
You cost us a game,
Yeah.
but you had your 2 hits, so
Mhm.
that's what you're going to post.
Mm-hmm.
That's a major issue, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Kids aren't allowed to fail.
Huh, yeah, it's detrimental.
Yeah.
That's been one of the most, I think, detrimental things. Is like, they're so scared of failure
Mhm.
that sometimes we don't even, like, I feel like with my job, I get to put them in uncomfortable situations where, like, I kind of want you to fail.
Mhm.
Like, I want you to experience the failure. Like,
Yeah.
like I feel like when I look back on my time in college and what, you know, Coach Durant, my strength coach, did for me and put me in uncomfortable situations, and whether he was trying to develop me as a leader or a player or whatever it was, or even, you know, my coaches just on the field, like, I learned the most when I failed. I
Yeah.
learned the most when my team got punished.
Right.
I learned the most when a coach was in my face telling me straight up what I was doing wrong, and, you know,
Yeah.
things like that. I feel like we've gotten away from that because everybody has to be perfect.
Yeah.
Everyone has to be celebrated.
Mhm.
And I'm not even talking about like the participation trophy stuff. I'm just
Right.
talking about like our top athletes are
Mhm.
struggling with, oh, I wasn't perfect today, so that means like it's
Yeah.
over. It's over.
Mhm.
And it's like it's high and it's low. There's no in between going
Yeah.
on here. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like that's been one of the most detrimental things that I've experienced at modern day.
Mhm.
It's just like ego.
Right.
It's about me. Selfishness. I mean, there was a time last year, our girls lacrosse team, they know this story and it's funny, but they stole some Gatorade protein bars from the athletic training room. And when it comes down to it, okay, it's not that big of a deal, but they
Right.
shouldn't have done it. And so coach tells me about it, and she's upset about it. She's like, you know, we need to figure out something to do in weights today because I'm not happy, and we need to figure out. It's like, okay, we'll go out and we'll push sleds. So I got everybody outside, didn't really talk to him. I was just like, get these lines, let's go. Let's just start pushing. And they're just pushing, they're pushing, they're pushing.
Yeah.
They're tired, and then, you know, I'm like, okay, now we're gonna crawl. So now we're gonna crawl, we're gonna crawl, we're gonna crawl. And then we start crawling, and I'm like, okay, now everybody get in a plank. Get in a plank, they're planking. And then all of them go down, and one of the girls, like, when they were resting on the ground, kind of was like laying on her arms and like her eyes were closed. And I like leaned over her and got in her face, and I was like, oh, so we're being selfish today. Oh, I didn't know we were so selfish. You know, it was pretty selfish for you guys stealing those Gatorade bars, huh? We just like to be selfish. You know, girls lacrosse, they're known for being selfish.
Yeah.
And so, all right, let's just be selfish today.
Oh, God.
And so for the whole rest of the year, that's kind of was our theme.
Uh-huh.
Like, are you being selfish? Because that translated on the field.
Right.
Like, that
Right.
translate when what you see in the weight room, that's how they are on the field. That's how they are on the court, wherever. Like, it's, you know, I say this all the time because it's what Coach Durant told me. It's like, how you choose to do one thing is how you do everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you're lazy in the weight room, you're lazy on the field, you're lazy at home,
Right.
you're lazy in the classroom. It's just how you are. You
Right.
At that age, you don't compartmentalize and are one way here and one way
Right.
here and one way here.
Yeah.
Maybe for a moment when a college coach is watching you,
Right.
but it doesn't matter. So I feel like the selfishness and the pride and just me being the best and me
Mhm.
being on my pedestal
Yeah.
is all they care about.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we
Yeah.
flip that into, like how you're saying in the 80s,
Right.
building a team?
Yeah.
It's about the team.
Yeah, and I think to add to that, like, the old days, what the coaches said went. No questions asked. This is what you did. And again, some of it's good, some of it's bad, the changes. So compared to your story that, 2010, Fermansky was on this team, and he's never forgotten it. The freshmen didn't work at the Christmas tree sale. They didn't show up. So we had 20 leftover trees. So I made these guys run sprints with the leftover trees on their
That's
shoulders.
It's so classic.
It was beautiful. And
The trees on
and
their back.
they've never, like, literally, they're just sitting in left field. It's like, all right, guys, let's go. We're going to condition today. Today, I'd be fired. That'd be abuse, right? I mean, theoretically,
Yeah.
like, I would never pull that trigger today. They're just,
Okay.
It's no. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, as a
No, yeah.
strength
I
coach,
don't know if you get fired, but it's not a risk you want to take. Because
exactly.
the mess that it would cause after is way less worth it than like getting you the satisfaction of watching them sprint with the tree on their back.
That's so great.
Yeah.
But
Even though
then
that's
those
great.
kids, they were like, they got it.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
They're like, all right, we deserve that.
yeah, we screwed up.
But that's where I think about with my job, because there's definitely things with my job that I'm like, I could do that.
Yeah.
But is that taking it too far? And I've definitely had to like be like, all right, let's rewind a little
Yeah.
bit. But
Yeah.
some of my toughest days, like I was talking about, I'm gonna remember for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna remember that for the rest of their life.
Oh yeah.
When Coach
Yeah.
made me put a tree on my back and sprint. But it was like
It's ridiculous.
those moments with your team, that builds culture.
Oh,
that
yeah.
builds
Yeah.
camaraderie. Like
Yeah.
that builds like, okay, I have something to be a part of. Like,
Mhm.
is it the piece of, okay, am I going too far? Can these kids take it?
Yeah.
Like, is that the problem? Or is it the problem that it's just like, okay, this is just too big of a risk? Or can these kids not take it? Because honestly, in some of the tough situations I've put my kids in the past year, they've taken it.
Mhm.
And they've grown
Yeah.
tremendously.
Yeah.
So is it just like the risk is too much,
Mhm.
or can the kids not take it? Because I think with the right amount of discipline and coaching and the way to do it correctly
Mhm.
and pushing them really hard, they've actually received it really well.
Yeah.
It's almost just like, because of the world we live in,
Mhm.
we have to pull back. It's really not the kids.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No.
We've taught them wrong.
Yeah.
Like, it's all of us that have held back, or
Mhm.
all of us that haven't disciplined correctly, or parents that have given them everything, all the praise, all
Right.
the everything, but the no discipline. And
Right.
like, where do we get to play into that?
Yeah. No, and I think you're dead on there. It's like you don't. I know for me, I mean, I can think, back to the chemistry thing. It's hard to develop chemistry when kids are on their cell phones. I mean, we used to take, as you know, trips to Las Vegas, but we drove the vans, and the parents were on their own. We were responsible for the kids, and I have so many great stories because before cell phones, I mean, it was a party,
Yeah.
right? Kids are joking around, and get to know us on a different level. We got kicked out of a pool one time because guys were going the wrong direction on the river, and it's like, oh, this isn't gonna last long. And we ran in parking lots at 5 a.m. because guys were doing things. But those are things that don't happen anymore.
Yeah.
Because of social media, because of liability. Like, I don't want to be responsible for going to Las Vegas and somebody, does something stupid and it comes back to me.
Mhm.
So you let the parents handle it. And that's the part that has changed. And that's just due to time and
Yeah.
technology.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I have one more question, then we're gonna end on. It's like a two-parter. And I'm gonna ask it, and then whoever wants to answer it first can answer it. Here's my question. Two-parter. How do you balance a physically and emotionally demanding career with your faith? And how does your faith influence the way that you coach? What y'all think?
I'll go first, I guess.
Okay, you go, yeah.
For a lot of years, I didn't.
Just didn't.
I was all about. I felt like my whole life, my whole career, I've been trying to prove myself to others. I was an athlete that was on the small side. I was. Nobody thought I'd play college baseball because I was small, And even my coaches today, they'll tell me like, I don't know how you did it, So I was always trying to prove myself, and I was always kind of just felt like I was running on that treadmill. So when I became the head coach, that was still kind of my thing, where my identity was in how many wins and losses we had. And to this day, it still exists to an extent, because I think, unfortunately, coaches are judged by the wins and losses, by their championships. You know, like you said it yourself, like, how come softball only has one championship banner? Well, they have a bunch more, you know, but there's been through so many coaches. I don't put them up on the fence. Maybe I should. But so it still exists a little bit today. But so I kind of, my faith was on the back burner for a lot of years. And the last probably 5 years or so, I've really tried to focus on one, maintaining, you know, finding that balance of, hey, I got to go to Bible study on Wednesday or Big Dave's barbecue on a Saturday, which I think will be good for me personally, you know, for my faith.
Yeah.
Which
That will be good. That will be good for you.
yeah. So that's number one is like, you know, the last 5 years, I feel like God has moved in my life to really get me to focus on that. Number two, as a leader, I think that I'm more aware now of trying to lead by example than maybe I was before because it was all about winning. And the kids on the team know I'm a Christian. They know I'm a believer. But in public school, it's not like I sit there and, you know, preach it, present it, but they know that I'm the FCA advisor. And so hopefully I lead by example and I lead well. Is that too long?
No, not at all.
Oh,
I think that's good.
Okay.
That's great.
I feel, yeah, I mean, I haven't been coaching for long, but in the very short time I've been coaching since starting, I think it definitely is cool because I can tell that kids see a difference in the way that I talk to them as opposed to other coaches. Not that other coaches talk to them in a way that's bad, but I might just be, there might be a little more love or understanding or empathy there than with other coaches they may have had in the past.
Yeah.
And I can also tell, this is kind of interesting, I can also tell my difference in my mood and how I act in the way that I talk while I'm coaching in the weight room or basketball when I'm in my Bible and I'm praying versus when I'm not, which is like, it's evident to me. It's kind of, it's kind of crazy because it's like, I can tell that I might have less empathy or like a shorter fuse or just care, like straight up care less, like just be like more like just about like the logistics of, do we get everything done that we wanted to get done today? And are we playing well or are we looking good in the weight room versus like, okay, maybe we're not looking the best, why? Or like, let me build relationships with these kids today instead of just like give them their workout or give them their practice schedule. Like, let me talk to them about their life and talk to them and like be a part of that. I think that's where I see it the most is like how much I'm just like caring for the kid as a kid instead of just like, are they doing what I want them to do as an athlete?
Before you say anything, I got to tell both of you guys, and it's not just you two, but you guys have kind of led me a lot in that. Just by your strength and your courage to not be afraid to post something on Instagram, you know, do a video. You know, I'm starting to do it a little bit. I'm not quite there yet. You know, but you guys have really kind of helped me in that process of softening me and saying, okay, you know what? I got to be courageous. I can't just sit back and just, you know, not show my faith and not spread the gospel to others. And I'm not there. I don't think we ever fully get there, but you guys have helped in that process for me, you young guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely, from where I like started, which hasn't been long, but like year and a half ago to now, I definitely feel like I'm compartmentalizing less. We're like, at least with like doing this podcast or with like all this stuff that I'm doing on the media side, because I train out of here privately as well as at the school and stuff. It's a unique opportunity that I kind of have to post stuff on social media. And before I kind of thought about it as like, I'm a Christian who's doing this as a career, and when I post on social media, is to highlight the training or to promote it or to just talk about that stuff, and like being a Christian is more in the background. But I feel like now I'm taking more of an approach of like, no, I'm gonna be as bold as I possibly can with this, and it is uncomfortable a lot at times.
Yeah.
But this is like, I mean, it's who I am.
Yeah.
So if anyone is ever gonna get turned off by that, then I probably don't want to train them anyway. Or it's just like, I can fill my social media with talking about the Lord and the training, and that's a cool opportunity to tell people about Him. And yeah, that's how I look at it now, like much differently from like even 12 months ago. Yeah, I heard Kevin say the same thing about like here. He was talking about like he has a Bible verse like on the website, and he has a Bible verse on a couple of like there's like a what is it? What verse is it? This is our password for stuff. 1 Corinthians 2:15, chapter 2, verse 15. I don't know. Anyway, is that it? What's the password? 25:17. Yeah. Anyway, he's got this verse like everywhere. It's like a password on all this stuff, and it's on the website, and and it's just cool because I heard him one time say like, he's like, yeah, I've actually had people that have not worked with me because they saw the Bible verse on my website, and he said, if that's the case, I probably don't want to work with them anyway. So that's pretty cool, Kevin. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. I'd like to hear what you'd have to say, Reagan, because because you're very from a strength coach standpoint, I think probably the thing that I respect most about how you go approach your job is the relationship building aspect to it. And like, it can be easy to chase exercise, science, knowledge, and is my program the best? Is my cueing all the technical parts of the training? But I feel like you just care for the people, the kids that you're training really well, and you're very not ashamed of your faith in it. Yeah. It's like a main driver.
I appreciate that.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think when God was opening and closing doors a year ago with my career and where I was going to go after Laverne, I think I just said, like, Lord, where do you want me to go and honestly do ministry, like in a way? And I think He opened this door at Modern Day, and I was like, okay, private, Catholic, high school, so this is going to be interesting.
Interesting spot.
The beauty of it is I get to talk about Jesus all I want, and I don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
Because they believe in Jesus, they believe different things.
Yeah. And
I don't hold anything back. Like, I'm not a Catholic, but I will openly tell you who Jesus is. So, yeah, I feel like I walked into Modern Day and I was like, I am going to keep my faith at the forefront of my job. But I also have to do my job, you know?
Yeah.
But I think what you said in the beginning, I build relationships. I ask kids about their life. I go up to them. Why do you look down today? Like, are you good? Like, just giving that extra care and love that, like, sometimes, and I've gotten this from athletes, and honestly, like, it's left me, not to be dramatic, but it's left me leaving work, like, in tears sometimes. Because it's like, these kids don't have anyone in their life right now that truly will just listen. Listen to them. And I've had kids come up to me and be like, Coach, you are the first person that has actually sat down and listened to me. Have actually asked me hard questions about my life. And, like, things that I would question. And so, I don't know, I feel like I put that at the forefront. I mean, I tell them all the time, like, I train you hard, and, you know, I hope you don't take it as me being mean, but more as, like, I just care about you and I love you this much that, like, I want you to be successful in every way. And so, I feel like I love my job so much, and I have so much passion for what I do because I get the opportunity to minister to these kids. And one of our staff members she was talking. She's been at Mater Dei for like 50 years or something crazy, or like just around that. She's one of the people that work in the ministry side of campus, and she was like, it was a good reminder and encouragement. She said the other day, like, you may be the only person that gets to talk to these kids about Jesus. Ever.
Yeah.
So how are you going to take that opportunity? Like, pray with your athletes, talk to your athletes. Like, you have the opportunity to be the light for them.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I take a huge burden to that. Like, not that it drags me down, but like I take it serious.
Yeah.
And so I try to be available to them. Obviously I'm their coach, but I'm also someone that's just going to sit and listen. So I try to really, really connect with them and be also someone that they feel like they can trust. So yeah, I keep that at the forefront, and I agree with you about being in my Bible and prayer and everything. Like, every single day I wake up and I get my Bible, even if it's at 4:15 in the morning. If I had to be at work at 5, I'm still getting up at 4 to get my Bible and pray so that Christ prepares me to go coach 18s that day.
Yeah.
Like, I need him. And like, that's been something that when I got in the thick of it last year, I was like, oh, I need you. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get through today and get through a camp at 6 p.m. and then not get home at 8. Like, it can be overwhelming as coaches because our schedules are crazy. But being able to literally be, surrendering to that every day of like, okay, no, I know you got me and you put me in this situation for a reason. So I'm going to trust that. And then how you were saying, like, the Bible calls us to be strong and courageous. So take heart, like, move forward, like, go conquer the day because you know that Jesus has placed you there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally agree. Like, you have to be able to have those disciplines to support your lifestyle. I can't just go preach and go tell these kids about Jesus, but then not be relying on him. Like, it's not an ego thing for me. Like, I need to humble myself first, then be ready to go talk about him in the gospel. So I just try to keep that at the forefront. But it's raised questions. Coaches have asked me hard questions. I get asked all the time, why don't you drink? Why don't you do this? Like, why don't you do all these things? Students have asked me hard questions of like, coach, tell me about times where like you weren't a Christian. And I've gotten to tell my testimony. I've gotten to be honest about who I was in high school to now. Like, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, just letting the Lord push me forward in that and not try to steal the spotlight or in any way, and just be humble. So
it's great.
Yeah.
Let's go, guys.
Yeah.
Are we done?
That's all I got.
Good job, Dave.
All right.
Good job, Dave.
Way to work.
Thanks for coming, guys.